Here in the studio.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel and our Georgia State Dynasty. Last week, the Panthers were at home in the Georgia Dome taking on Old Dominion in what could be a preview of the Sun Belt Championship game. Georgia State ran away with that one 43-23 over the Monarchs and secured their spot in the Sun Belt Championship game, taking the Sun Division. This week, Georgia State's on the road for the regular season finale against Middle Tennessee State, looking for another win to close out the regular season and hopefully gain a spot in the national championship game.
The last few games, they ripped off.
Georgia State's going to start out on offense here, 1st and 10. Smith will hand off to Anthony Gross. He'll cut it back up the middle, and he's got 12 yards, and that puts him over 1,100 yards on the year. Very next play here, Smith. Delayed handoff to Gross, and Gross stopped for a short gain of 1 on that play. No open holes on that run. 2nd down and 9 now for the Panthers. Smith looking to pass here. Pressured, he throws, it's caught by Josh Everson, and he's got a 1st down catch into Middle Tennessee State territory here. The pitch out on 2nd and 5 to Anthony Gross, and he's stopped behind the line this time. A loss of 3 on the play. 3rd down and 8 now for Georgia State here. Smith back to pass, looking, steps up, fires, and the linebacker John Sims comes up with a deflection, and Georgia State's going to have to punt. Middle Tennessee State takes over inside their own 5. Handoff to Sims up the middle. That goes for 6, giving them some breathing room. 2nd down and 4. Sanders back to pass here. Is going to fire to the sideline, and it's broken up. B.J. Allen with the deflection, and that'll bring up 3rd and short for Middle Tennessee State. Sanders looking to pass here on 3rd down. He finds Neal, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds right at the marker. That'll be a 1st down. Later on in the drive, it's 3rd and 1. Sanders back to pass. Is going to dump it off to Neal over the middle. Good for another 1st down catch. Derek Neal, 3 catches, 15 yards here on this opening drive. 3rd and 5. Sanders back to pass once again for Middle Tennessee State. He's going to find Wheeler, and Wheeler's got 22 yards and all the way into Panther territory on that play. 1st and 10, Middle Tennessee State. Sanders now on the delayed, or the play action will hit Derek Neal again, 11 yards and another 1st down. Inside the 30 of Georgia State, 2nd and 5. Rogers is going to get the catch this time, and that one's going to be right at the marker. Charles Rogers with a 5-yard catch and a 1st down. 1st and 10, Sanders empty backfield set. Will step up, fire. This one is broken up by Jonathan Gallagher. Probably could have had an interception on that one. 3rd and 2 now for Middle Tennessee State. And Sims will get the handoff, and he's got the 1st down and more. He's going to stiff arm his way to the end zone. And Middle Tennessee State takes the early 7-0 lead over Georgia State. Late in the 1st quarter now, handoff goes to Anthony Gross as Georgia State takes over on offense. Gross, 10 yards on that carry. Very next play here, Smith, empty backfield set, will fire deep, and it's caught by Anthony Pendleton. That's good for 9.5. And then set up 2nd and inches. Smith back to pass. He's going to find Luther Madison, who's got the catch into Middle Tennessee State territory. And a 1st down for Georgia State. 3rd and 7 on this drive now for the Panthers. Smith back to pass will find Terrence Flynn over the middle for 11 yards and another Panthers 1st down. Smith working out of the shotgun, keeps it on the read option. He's going to get outside. Good blocking downfield. He's inside the 10, taken down at about the 8. And at the end of 1, Middle Tennessee State's on top of Georgia State, 7-0. Blue Raiders controlled the ball in the first quarter, but the Panthers are knocking on the door here to start the second. Smith firing, and that one's broken up by Corey Brown. So it'll be second and goal for the Panthers. Smith is going to hand off to Anthony Gross, and he is only going to gain one. It'll be third down for the Panthers. Smith looking to pass here, dropping back pretty deep here. And he's going to fire, and it's caught by Donald Clark. Wide open in the end zone. The tight end reels it in for the touchdown, and Georgia State ties this game at 7 apiece. The Blue Raiders take over now on offense. Sanders back to pass here, looking, and his pass will fall incomplete as he was hit as he threw. 3rd and inches now for the Blue Raiders. Sanders is going to keep it on the read option. He's got the first down and more past the 40. A 6-yard gain and a first down. 1st and 10 Blue Raiders here from the 41. Sanders is going to dump it off to Sims, and Sims has a first down past midfield. 11 yards for Alex Sims. 2nd and 2 now for Middle Tennessee State. Handoff goes to Alex Sims this time. He cuts it upfield. First down and more inside the 25 of Georgia State. 18 yards on that rush. 2nd down and 2 now. Sanders back to pass, fires to the sidelines, caught by Mayhew, and he breaks a tackle, getting the first down in the second effort, down to the Georgia State 5. 1st and goal to go for the Blue Raiders. Sanders will keep it, and he's going to fire. I don't know what that play was, but the ball went right to the ground, and it'll be 2nd down and goal. Sanders out of the shotgun here, looking for a touchdown. He's going to fire to the end zone, and it's broken up by... Looked like B.J. Allen there. Or that was number 32, not B.J. Allen. 3rd and goal for the Blue Raiders. Sanders looking to pass here to the end zone. And that one is broken up by B.J. Allen. Incomplete. And the Blue Raiders settle for a field goal. They take a 10-7 lead as Georgia State takes over here on offense. Smith back to pass is going to go deep. And it's caught by Josh Everson. A 32-yard gain. His second big catch of the day. 1st and 10, Smith back to pass. And he's going to try to hit Terrence Flynn, but that one bounces off his hands, incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Georgia State. Smith back to pass, will dump it off to Anthony Gross on the screen, and he's going to get outside and get the first down, taken down inside the 30. 3rd and 1 now for the Panthers. Smith hands off to Matt Barnes up the middle. He's inside the 5, down to the 2, 17 yards. And it's 1st and goal, Panthers. On 1st and goal, Smith back to pass here, looking to the end zone. And Luther Mazin has the ball knocked out at the end. That would have been a touchdown. 2nd and goal. Smith will hand off to Gross up the middle, untouched. And Georgia State adds a touchdown and takes a 14-10 lead over the Blue Raiders as they take over on offense. Sanders back to pass here. He's got all day. Good blocking, and that pass off the mark, incomplete. 3rd and 10 now for Middle Tennessee State. Sanders back to pass will hit Mayhew, and he's going to be close to the marker, 9 yards, but a yard short, and the Blue Raiders have to punt. Georgia State takes over. 1st and 10. Smith back to pass here, looking, getting pressured, fires deep, and caught by Trevor Phillips, who breaks a tackle inside the 10, and he will score. And one play and a touchdown for Georgia State, and they take a 21-10 lead late here in the first half. The Blue Raiders have the ball again on offense, and Brandon Mayhew is going to go down in the backfield, a 4-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 5. Sanders will look to pass for the first down, and he's going to throw this one away. He must have felt the pressure. Looks like he's down on the field. So Georgia State takes over with 1:12 to go. 1st and 10. Smith is going to throw this one up for Terrence Flynn on the sideline, but he cannot come up with it. 1st and 10 later on in the drive. Smith looked to pass here. He's going to fire this one, and it's caught by Terrence Flynn. 16 yards and a first down. 1st and 10 now from the Blue Raiders side of the field. Smith back to pass will fire, and Trevor Phillips comes up with a 17-yard catch. And the Panthers are in field goal position. 1st and 10. Smith back to pass here, firing to the sideline. and broken up by Chad Bailey. Could have been intercepted, but it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now. Smith is going to fire quickly, and it's caught by Trevor Phillips, and he makes his way to the end zone, and Georgia State gets another touchdown right before half to take a 28-10 lead on 4 touchdowns in the 2nd quarter.
They want to get back in the game.
Georgia State opened this game up in the 2nd quarter with 4 touchdowns. Middle Tennessee State starts the 2nd half with the ball, and Devontae Stone gets a 12-yard reception and a 1st down. Georgia State, 296 yards of offense there in the 1st half, most of that coming in the 2nd quarter. 1st and 10 for the Blue Raiders now. Sanders back to pass, looking, steps up, and he's sacked. A loss of 7 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 17. Sanders looking to pass here, and he will fire as he's hit, and it's caught by Neal. Derek Neal with another big catch. 23 yards on that reception, and a 1st down for the Blue Raiders. Sanders back to pass on 2nd and 10 now. He's going to fire deep, and this one's picked off by B.J. Allen, and the Panthers will take over after that turnover, looking to add more points to the scoreboard. 1st and 10, delayed handoff to Stephen Leach. He's got the 1st down on a 13-yard carry. 2nd and 2 now for the Panthers. Smith hands off to Matt Barnes, trying to get outside. He cuts it up the middle, 1st down and more. Looks like he's down to the 41 of the Blue Raiders. 17 yards on that carry. 1st and 10, Georgia State. Smith back to pass here. Drops back deep, fires deep, and caught by Luther Madison down to the 23. 17 yards and a Panthers 1st down. Later on in the drive, it's 2nd down and 1. Handoff goes to Matt Barnes. He has the 1st down and more inside the 10. 7 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal, Georgia State. From the 8, Smith under center will look to pass here. He fires quickly, caught by Terrence Flynn, down to about the 1.5-yard line. 2nd and goal now. Smith back to pass. Looking, and sacked. He goes down on the play. Could not find an open receiver, and he loses 12. 3rd and goal now. Smith looking to pass for the touchdown. He's going to fire to the end zone, and Madison cannot come down with it, and Georgia State's going to have to settle for a field goal, making it 31-10. Still a commanding lead here. The Blue Raiders take over, and this pass is picked off by Vinny Hill, and he'll return this one all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. But hold on, a flag on the play after the interception on Georgia State. And they do get the turnover, but they have the ball just inside of Blue Raiders territory. Smith on 1st and 10 is going to fire deep, and Trevor Phillips comes up with an amazing one-handed catch, 22 yards, and you got to take another look at this. One-handed and up and over the defender after being hit. Cannot believe he hung on. 2nd down and 10 now. Handoff will go to Stephen Leach. He'll break a tackle, 2 tackles, and gain 11. 1st down inside the 15. 3rd and 11 now for the Panthers. Smith will fire this one up to the sideline, and that one will be incomplete, and the Panthers will add a field goal to take a 34-10 lead at the end of 3 quarters.
Defense does with a
Georgia State trying to extend their lead here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 17. Smith back to pass, dropping back deep, firing, and wide open is Josh Everson. Another big gain for Everson, and Smith is over 300, and that'll set up 1st and goal. Smith back to pass from the shotgun, going outside, and it's broken up. So 2nd and goal upcoming here from the 7-yard line. Smith back to pass will fire to Luther Madison, who makes the catch, 7 yards and a touchdown, and Georgia State takes a 41-10 lead and blowing out the Blue Raiders here, as they should though. Mayhew here on the screenplay is going to gain 9, just short of the marker. 3rd and 1 now for the Blue Raiders. Sanders back to pass here. He'll fire, and it's caught by Wheeler, and he's got the 1st down catch up to the 44. 2nd and 5 now for Middle Tennessee State. Sanders hands off to Mayhew. He's got the first down and more into Panther territory on a 9-yard carry. 3rd and 5 for the Blue Raiders. Sanders will hand off to Mayhew, and he's going to go down after a gain of 1. We'll set up 4th down, and the Blue Raiders have to go for it here, down by 31. Sanders back to pass. Will find Rogers. Charles Rogers with the 4th down catch and keeping the drive alive for the Blue Raiders. 3rd and 4 now for Middle Tennessee State. A dump off to Mayhew outside, and he'll be stopped 3 yards short of the first down marker. Another 4th down upcoming for Middle Tennessee State. Sanders will look, he'll fire, and Neal cannot hang on, and Georgia State will take over on offense, trying to run this clock out. 3rd and 1. Smith will hand off to Gross. He breaks a tackle and gets just enough for that first down. 3 yards on the carry. Very next play here for the Panthers. Smith looking to pass, pump fakes, and he's going to go down, sacked on the play for a loss of 10. And that'll bring up 3rd and 20. The Panthers have been good even on 3rd and long today. Smith back to pass, will fire deep, and this one's caught by Terrence Flynn. 21 yards and a Panthers first down. Oh my God, how good have they been on 3rd and long. 2nd and 8 now, handoff to Anthony Gross, and this is what you do not do. He was stopped to the line and could not find a way, trying to get it, going backwards. He loses 27. 3rd and 34 now for the Panthers. Smith looking to pass. He's going to fire that one up deep, one-on-one. Luther Madison somehow comes up with it, 44 yards and a Panthers first down. Everything is clicking today for the Panthers. Handoff to Matt Barnes on 2nd and 2. He'll get down to the 5, and that'll set up 1st and goal for Georgia State. Smith will hand it off to Gross, and he will make his way to the end zone for the icing on top of the cake. And the Panthers are going to win this one and give head coach Chip Nolan his 50th win of his career in this game. Steve Smith, your player of the game, with 4 touchdowns and 391 yards passing. And Georgia State blows out Middle Tennessee State 48-10. Taking a look at scores from other games around the country this week, number 16, Texas A&M takes care of Missouri 37-29. Looking at the stats from our game today, Georgia State from the 2nd quarter on dominated this game. 391 yards passing, 130 on the ground, 24 first downs. A very dominant performance. Steve Smith, your offensive player of the game, 4 touchdowns. Vinny Hill, 6 tackles and an interception on defense. And we have some recruiting news now. Mark Wilson, he's an athlete, 74 overall. They classify him actually as a quarterback if you look at it in depth. He's a 4-star from Grand Prairie, Texas. He's committed to Georgia State. He's a 74 overall gem prospect, and he is committed to Georgia State. So we will need him later on. We beat out some other teams like Middle Tennessee State, looks like Akron. But we also got 4-star quarterback Jonathan Ridgway. This was one of the top guys on our board later on. Once we saw him, he's from Algona, Iowa, it looks like. Number 11 quarterback, +7 overall to an 80. He's a gem, and we took him over a bunch of schools that wanted him, like Alabama, Notre Dame, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M. How did we beat these guys out for this guy? He may be the next starting quarterback of Georgia State once Steve Smith leaves. And we have made it to the Sun Belt Championship game, and we will be facing off against Old Dominion. So this will be a rematch of week 13, I believe it was, where we beat them 43-23. Can the Panthers do it again? They have moved up to number 7 in the country, and they're actually number 6 in the BCS poll. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.